Hello and welcome everyone. The reading for the week with Tarot with Titania for the week of January 8th to the 15th, 2021. I hope everyone is doing well this first week of the new year. Ongoing developments, revelations. We can expect a lot more, as I understand it, from astrologers for the rest of the month. January is going to continue to be intense. I guess we just have to roll with it. Keep breathing, stay happy, stay grounded, take care of ourselves. Make sure we're getting enough good sleep, good nutrition. Maybe make a choice to stay away from some sugar. Take a choice to stay away from alcohol or minimize it. Do what you can to take care of yourself. Vitamin D, vitamin C, really important ways of boosting your immune system. And eating a tablespoonful of probiotic food daily. There we go. My recommendations for keeping yourself well. So what do we need to know about the week ahead is our inquiry. Creator, this is your daughter Titania, and I am here to do a reading for the highest and greatest benefit of myself and all of those listening. My intention is to be a clear channel for the information that is most needed right now and to provide that in a manner that will be easily and effortlessly heard, understood, and integrated for the highest and greatest good of all concerned, including this beautiful planet, our home. I call upon my higher self and the higher selves of all those listening now and in the future to be here, present, and facilitate this exchange, as well as an overlighting angel of communication to ensure that we cover everything that needs to be covered clearly, easily, effortlessly in the time that we have. Again, for the greatest good of all concerned. I'd like to invite the four archangels to come and hold the four directions around us. Wherever you may be in time and space, you are here with me, doing this reading together, contributing your life force and energy to greater clarity and understanding on the planet at this time. And I invite Raphael to hold the east, Michael to hold the south, Gabriel to hold the west, and Uriel to hold the north, bringing us all together across time and space, in light, in love, and in service. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Our intention is for ease, for clarity, for wisdom, for discernment, for empowerment, for transformation, for healing, for anything that is in our collective heart and mind at this time. Anything that doesn't match these frequencies of light and love and all good stuff is welcome to go now. And so, let's get started. What do we need to know for the week ahead? Okay, my friends, let's get going. Past influence is waning, but it continues into our present, into our future. So this card of anxiety, the Five of Pentacles, and you see this man and woman, and they are outside of a building. It's lit up inside. They're looking like they're struggling. You see their patches on their clothes. And despite their being so close to shelter, something doesn't feel right. And so they decide to keep going. They can't just settle in and knock on that door. There's something about it that isn't correct for them. So this is the energy of the recent past. Its influence is waning, but it continues into our present, into our future. It's this sort of sense that something isn't right. And I think that's pretty much something that we can all relate to in our collective experience. And whether that's because things just aren't being disclosed, or we don't have all the information, or the information that we're getting is broken and isn't complete for very, very many reasons. Let's face it, this is a very difficult time, and our leaders are juggling to do their best. And there are those who are unscrupulous and seeking to take advantage. I mean, that's our capitalist model, isn't it? Finding opportunity even in adversity. But that's also our spiritual model, recognizing that adversity is an opportunity for our greater growth, our opportunity to become more than we were, our opportunity to understand ourselves better, and to always move towards what we've learned about ourselves and what we do want in our experience. This card talks about our collective experience around anxiety, around being unclear, unsure, unstable, off our balance. That's what anxiety does to us. It takes us off our center. So whatever we can do to regain that center in a healthy, positive, supportive way of our collective well-being is of great benefit to us. And that's essentially what I just started with, my little lecture about what you could do to take care of yourself, is part of that idea of you aren't powerless. We are very, very powerful, in fact. And it's important for us to recognize that and to take action and to do what we are able to do in our direct experience to alleviate our anxiety, to alleviate our fears and concerns, and give ourselves the nourishment, the love, the care that we would want someone else to give us, to parent ourselves through these difficult times, and to stay positive, grounded, and as even and neutral as we can in the face of the various bits that come our way. Because there's a lot out there that can trigger us, a lot. And again, when we don't have we don't have transparency, we don't have understanding, and there's a lot of shenanigans going on, let's call them that, it's difficult for us to be at peace. But that's our job, that's our work. Our present environment, here comes the card of success. This is a card of community, of celebration. Again, in our present moment, how do we celebrate our blessings? How do we celebrate all the good that we have? How do we reach out to each other and stay connected and stay positive and reinforce the good so that everyone is in a more optimistic, enlivened, resilient, and loved space? A thought that occurred to me this morning is over the holidays, I'm sure many of us reached out to our loved ones, but how are we continuing to do that, especially those who are in isolation, those who are on their own, aunts, uncles, family members, grandparents, people who are single, young people who are living on their own. Very important for us to just look out into our own little communities of those we love and reach out to each other and offer words of affirmation and love and kindness and support and laugh together. Talk about the good things. Remember to stay in the positive. Connect and send love to others. So important right now that we not stop being in touch with those we care about just because life has resumed or we're back sort of at the usual grind. The holidays are over. We have to keep all of those people that we love in our hearts, in our thoughts, in our communication. Staying connected, very important. So that's the energy in our present. The near future. Oh, and one more thing. When we look out into the world and we are looking to see how we can take care of other people, we can get off of this. We can get out of this energy and we can be in a place of love and a place of support and a place of kindness. It helps us to stay out of the fear and the anxiety that this causes. The near future is abundance, the 9 of Pentacles. It's a lovely card. So Pentacles it's all about financial things, material well-being, and there's sort of this energy of well-being. Now, abundance doesn't just mean money. It means many things. It means good friends. It means being able to garden, spend time in nature. Abundance is anything which brings us to mind the generosity of the earth, the generosity of spirit, that we are always given more than we need of whatever it is that we need, and recognizing that this is in our field and we can reach for this feeling of abundance at any time. And where we give our attention is where our energy flows, and that's what the universe tends to give us an abundance of. So be mindful about where you're putting your energy. You want an abundance of love, an abundance of community, an abundance of well-being. That is something you can easily do by giving your attention to that, by giving your attention to creating that in the lives of those around you, and also to pull more of it into your own experience. Abundance can mean material well-being as well. I like to think that we are collectively, as a result of all this turmoil and all this conflict and all of this up and down, that we are collectively coming to greater clarity about what would be most abundant for all of us. What would an ideal world look like? what would that feel like? What would that taste like? What would that be like for us all to live in a state of blessing and abundance? And some of us are hooked into old patterns. We've become familiar with living in states of fear and anxiety. And so it might take a little bit to shift that. But again, when we externalize our view, when we keep some energy within and paying attention to ourselves, but we also look around us to be of love and kindness and service to others, it transforms our experience and helps us to focus on this energy of abundance and well-being. Very lovely, lovely card. On the foundation, why we're having the reading this week, romance. Well, here we are. We had this before, romance with life. This idea of love, being in love with life, interacting with life as if it were a partner. How would we want that to go? You know, so looking for the good, whether that's in our romantic partners and our friends, our relationships, looking for and affirming the good evokes more of it. And this is something to recognize about our dance with life, our relationship with life. And life is other people. Life is the world around us. Life is the natural world. Life is what we're bathed in. Where are we coming at life from? What are we infusing life with? What are the energies that we're bringing to our relationship with life? This is what we're looking at this week. How am I creating a beautiful dance with life? What am I bringing to it? Am I bringing my best? Am I bringing my heart? Am I bringing my spirit? Am I bringing my gifts, my talents, my abilities to life? Am I giving them a place to live and thrive? You know, it's like hiding your light under a barrel. No one can see it. But when we look for opportunities, there's always a way to shine ourselves brighter in the world and to give back of ourselves. This energy of giving, this energy of abundance coming from our giving. Oh, there's a great book called The Gift Economy by Charles Eisenstein. And in the spirit of the book, he's given his book to the world in a digital format online. So Charles Eisenstein, The Gift Economy, and it's just a wonderful way to rethink our world and this idea of giving and the gift of giving. It gives to us, it gives to others, and everyone benefits when we slip into this energy of abundance and gifting. And recognizing, again, this idea of abundance, we have such a narrow notion of what that is. But abundance is health. Abundance is caring for others. Abundance is being willing to share who we are, our gifts. If we don't have much resources, we may have other things to share. We may have the gift of song. We may have the gift of music. We may have the gift of art. We may have the gift of caring for others, of ability to heal. We won't know how good we are in our talents and abilities unless we share. That's also a gift. When we share who we are and our gifts and talents, we thrive. The world thrives. Others thrive. And we all become more. And we realize who we are and how talented we are and how much we do have to give to life. So no matter where you are on the spectrum, whether you're very young or very old, you have gifts and talents within you. And it's wonderful to bring them forward into the world and to find ways to channel them in good ways. Okay, my goodness. How we need to conduct ourselves is the next card. So if you're feeling sorrow, if you're feeling intense adversity, know that it will pass. But just be okay, recognizing that the feelings are a natural part of humanity. It's what we are. It's what we do. It's how we be. We have these feelings. We have these emotions. But we're not there forever. And again, you know, we've seen this card before, but in these little black shapes, if you look, let's see if we can get it to focus. In the black shapes, are little hearts. Sorry, I guess it's not going to focus. So in these black shapes, we have little tiny hearts. And just recognizing in the adversity, in the experiences of darkness and sorrow and just feeling ooky, for lack of a better way of putting it, there's always an opportunity for light, for love, for hope, for wisdom, for discernment, for understanding what it is that we do want in the depths of what we're not experiencing that we don't want. The contrast is always a gift. It's always an opportunity for us to learn about ourselves and to understand ourselves better and to redirect our light and our love and our life towards what we do want. But when we're in the feeling of the emotion, you don't have to rush out of there. You just might not want to stay there for a long, long time. Because again, where your attention goes, your life force and your energy is going to go. So you really need to pay attention to that. But be okay with your humanness. Be okay with your feelingness. Be okay with the fact that, yeah, it's not rosy. It's not perfect. It's not where you want it to be. And then use that as leverage, as distinctions, as wisdom about what you do want, what you do prefer, where you do want to go. And then give your energy and your attention to that and let your heart be buoyed by that. Some lovely rosy colors in this card, you know. So even though this person is surrounded by the darkness with the little hearts in the center, always remember that. There's always a gift in the darkness. There is this love, this rosiness, this reminder that it's like a womb of possibilities. And even though it may feel dark, there's possibilities being born out of the darkness, out of the contrast, out of that which is intense and difficult right now. You are refining your vision for what you want. You are creating an incredible, one of my teachers talks about using a vortex of that which is wanted. It's like creating a magnetic pull of all the things that you desire in your life experience happen when we feel intensely. And always, always the opportunity, the challenge is to recognize where we are, accept it, and turn towards what is wanted. I think that'll be an ongoing message and has been an ongoing message these many months. But always use the adversity as an opportunity for greater clarity and wisdom. How others are going to be. The moon. So the moon, the story of this card in particular is there's a little girl and she's lost in the dark. She has her little dog. And she's afraid. She's afraid of the dark. She's afraid of the shadows. She just doesn't know what to do with it all, and she's upset. And the moon is sad about this because the moon is her friend. And the dark is her friend. And the moon is lighting her way to shelter and help and support in this house here. So it's this understanding that even the darkness is our friend. Even the darkness is part of creation, and it's a gift to us to use for our greater good and our greater evolution, as I said, as I talked about here. So even the darkness that we are collectively facing on this planet is a gift. And our challenge is not to go down into the hole, fall in the hole of the darkness and stay in the pit and wallow in despair. Our challenge is to use the darkness as an opportunity for light. We need to shine our light within our lives, in the lives of those who we are close to, whose lives we touch, to be our shiniest and best, to thrive in that, and to give it light and to give it more energy so that we come to an abundance of well-being, an abundance of love. This is all very, very possible and doable in our own little ways, in our own little lives. We have choice in our own direct experience. And each of us, as another in the experience of others, has an opportunity to make friends with this aspect of life, to make friends with this aspect of the darkness, understanding that it is contributing to our evolution, our becoming more than we were. It's essential. If everything was always fine, we'd never get beyond. We'd just be fine. But the challenges of intense times grow us and make us more than we were. And when we look back at our own life experience, we see that. We see that we are more as a result of all the times of challenge. So this is in the position of others. This is how others are going to be. They're finding their strength in this darkness. They're finding their way to their light. And we can take hope from this, understanding that we're not all in the pit at the same time. Thank the Maker. And that we're all finding our way. And together we're becoming more. We're helping each other. We're helping each other. And that love and kindness, that generosity is so, so good for us right now. It's helping us along more than I think we realize. We think it's so small. But every act of love, every act of kindness, every act of service is an amplification of the good. It's growing the wave of light and love on this planet and creating that beautiful wave of well-being and abundance for all and increasing our love with life. So even in the darkness, people, don't lose track of the love and the light that's out there. The outcome, we have the card of force. So January, this blessed month. Force, as you've seen before here, is a wonderful card of pruning. I should just call it pruning. Ace of Swords, it's the beginning of ideas and action. It's taking clear, concise, decisive, discerning action to transform your experience. Ideas and action, cutting edge ideas, cutting edge action, knowing how to take those beautiful ideas, those beautiful visions, and implement action around them. This is the outcome. This is what we're moving towards. And this is what we're going to see in the month of January. There's so much coming to the surface. There's so much clarity that's happening on the planet. And we may not see that in the mainstream media narrative. Yes, we know that's not where these stories of transformation and healing and change are coming from. These are happening on a smaller, more grassroots level, alternative media, that kind of thing. The awareness is growing on this planet. If ever you feel like people are just not getting it and, are you the only one who sees what you see? No, you're not. The light is growing on this planet, and we're all growing into more light on this planet at this time. And we're also discerning how we need to take action and what action we need to take. And don't worry if you don't see how to do this in your own experience. This is how you do it in your own experience. This being of love, kind, service, open-heartedness, generosity, giving of what you have to change things for the better, to show your love for life, to be in romance with life. If life was your beloved, who would you be? How would you be? And life is your beloved, so go for it. So this is the outcome. We're moving towards a time of great clarity, of great wisdom, of great distinction and discernment, and of powerful action for the good. And it is inspired and held by this. This is the energy that's fueling this, which is why it's so important. So important. To the best of your ability, find your way into your heart, stay there, shine it out into the world, and be there for others. And remind them that the adversity is a gift, that it's an opportunity for us to understand what we need so that we can take powerful action, because we are going to take powerful action, and we are taking powerful action. The awareness and the distinctions that we need are growing, and we will transform this world, because that's just the energy set point we're in right now. That's just what's up. There cannot be success, because collectively it's the energy of the time that we are in. And the astrologers are talking about it. Pam Gregory is one I recommended. I often post her latest on my Facebook channel, Tarot with Titania. You're welcome to join me there. I like to post things that are uplifting and positive and affirming there to help us stay in this positive mindset. Yes, there is adversity. Yes, it is hard. Yes. And it's okay. We have got this. We are stronger than this. And when we rely on our heart and we rely on externalizing our vision, what can we give to others? How can we be of service to others? How can we be loving light to others in the darkness? How can we be the moon shining brightly? It's our opportunity and our challenge all at the same time. It's a very good reading this week. I think they're all good readings, but this one is just so lovely in reminding us of the power that we hold in our now. This power to be in service to love, in service to life, from a really good place, and how beneficial it is. Okay, so we've got that piece. How about we pull up a card to grow on this week? What do we need to know? What is our card to grow on the week ahead? The Five of Hearts. The name of the card is Disappointment. And in the card we have this fellow who's just made an offer to this young lady, and she said no. She had to follow her heart. It wasn't what she wanted. And so there's a lot of disappointment. There are 5 hearts here. 3 of them are broken, but 2 are whole. And this is recognizing that there is always more love. There is always more light. And we have to honor our hearts. We have to listen to what our hearts are telling us. There's so much wisdom and discernment in our hearts. And when we listen to it, we can move in the direction of what we want. We can move in the direction of our future. We can move in the direction of greater clarity and empowerment. And of course, transformation, because that all comes together. And so, yes, it's disappointing and it's sad and it's hard, but we always need to listen to our heart and move in that direction, even if it is challenging at times. And even if it means that we're rejected, it doesn't mean that your heart won't be fulfilled. It doesn't mean that that opportunity to have full hearts won't be there. But you don't know unless you risk. You have to put yourself into the world to find out what you're made of and to discover what you have to offer and to realize how abundant and generous and prosperous and beautiful and shiny and lovely we truly are when we're out there in the world with our whole heart, loving and caring. It's challenging, it's difficult, but it's also the greatest blessing. So our card to grow on this week is, despite feeling disappointment, despite feeling, like it's just not working out, remembering those 2 whole hearts and always moving towards more love, always moving towards what our heart is telling us, trusting the wisdom that comes through our heart from that broader, wiser place. I wish you all a beautiful week. Creator, this reading is at an end. I'm so grateful for each and every person who is finding their way to you through their heart, through their acts of service, through their recognition and sharing of their gifts and talents in their circle and in their world. I see the beautiful world that we're creating, each of us, one at a time, by being brave enough to stand in our heart, in our love, in our offering to life. Help us to remember that we are in a love relationship with love, with you, with life. Help us to open our hearts, to be present, to be authentically expressing all the beauty that we are in response to all the beauty that you are, that life is. I am so grateful for this opportunity to be of service to those who are moving in the light, who are opening their hearts, who are in service, who are kind and generous, thoughtful, loving, and holding space for the more beautiful world we all know is possible in our hearts. I wish you all a beautiful and blessed week. Stay in touch. Be love. Be kindness. Be generosity of spirit for each other. And we'll get through this more beautifully than we can possibly imagine. Wishing you all, as I said, a wonderful week. Lots of love. Take care.